Okay, so I'm going to take you on a tour of the front yard garden. This is where the entrance is going to be. We still need to build the gate, and then over in this area will be a little garden with some flowers and twining vines and things like that. So this area over here is still not done. I'm going to put in a row of comfrey, I think. And then right there beside the cabinet is actually the door that goes into the chicken yard. So at the end of summer I can let the girls in. And so here's what the garden looks. It's June 5th today. The straw bale gardens are not performing as well as I hoped they would. These two tomatoes were the very first ones I put out though, so I think I put them out too early in the season. As you can tell, they're suffering a little bit. In comparison, the last two that I put out in the grow bags are looking absolutely fantastic. So I'm not sure if it's just when I put them out in the garden or a combination of that and the hay bales, straw bales just not being up to doing the job. So in the first bed we have some beans and some turnips and some ground cherries and a bunch of kale and a sneaky little flower that seeded itself, and it looks so pretty I'm leaving it. Next bed we have purple sprouting broccoli, which is a new thing for me, so I'll see how that goes. Next to that we have little millet sprouts. Those are also new. I'm hoping to get enough so that I can feed the quail some sprouts later on. And some, let's see, those are cauliflower. Cauliflower never really does that well in my garden, so I'm not expecting much. The next bed over is mainly beans with a few beets, I think, and some pot marigolds. This bed is where the first espalier is. This is the little pear. As you can see, it's finally starting to look a little bit like an espalier. It's tied onto its branch to make the first row here. And then this will grow up all the way up here, and then I'll put another row across like that. This bed was supposed to be Swiss chard, but for some reason it's not doing well, in spite of the fact that Swiss chard is doing really well everywhere else. This one is mainly beets and little baby lettuce, and then along the back there is a few beans. Those are noodle beans, and I'm not sure if they're going to do well in this climate or not. They're a total test. Down here we have some more Swiss chard that's looking much better. Two more tomatoes in the straw bales. These are looking slightly better. They were put out a little later in the season. They actually do have some little tomatoes starting. And then in here we have, I think that's more Swiss chard, my blackboard. And the second espalier, this one is the apple. You can see it has a little row started here, and then this will grow up higher, and then I'll put the second line somewhere along there. Third straw bale. This one has a couple of tomatoes, a ground cherry, and a few, there's some kind of squash. Let's see, acorn squash. So we'll see how they do. Then over on this side, this long bed here has a bunch of peas. The peas are doing really well. Some Chinese cabbage that the slugs absolutely completely adore, so they're becoming mainly just a sacrifice plant. They're not bothering the lettuce, the slugs aren't, they aren't bothering the kale, they aren't bothering anything else, they just want to attack the Chinese cabbage, so I may plant it every year just for that. Little dandelion crop, some more lettuce, marigolds, and then in behind there in another grow bag is the first batch of my potatoes. I think those are Klondike Gold. And then over in this long area here We have some more little squash that I'm hoping will grow up and over the trellis. Some sunflowers, some nasturtium, and then in this bed, because as the squash grow up, it will get more shaded, is where I'm trying to grow a bunch of different types of lettuce. I love the color combinations of these two. And this bed is mainly Swiss chard with a few beets. And there's also some squash started there, some more sunflowers, and then behind there is where I was trying to grow popcorn corn, but the birds and the root maggots and everything keeps attacking those guys, so I have no idea if they're going to actually produce anything. But anyway, for a brand new garden that just barely got started, and I'm still working on improving the soil, it's not looking so bad right now. Hopefully next year it will be even better.